guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is with Jay. If this is your first time, please thank you so much. The new one, the new subscribers, the old ones, thank you for everybody. Nigeria, outside Nigeria, UK, London, thank you for everybody. Asia, all my fans, thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate you guys. Please do well and hit the red button and subscribe to with Jay channel. Share my links, like my videos. Thank you so much, guys. um TGIF to everyone. Today is Friday. Everywhere in the world, today is Friday. Shout out to all of you guys. A very quick one that I wanted to come and just say stuff about the some of our African leaders. That don't like this idea of putting the Africa in the map. Some of those Western, they have, like, I don't know how they manage to do it, like kind of make some African leaders to believe that they can't make it. They can't make it, they can't be there except them. If you check, before I go into the proper detail of what I'm trying to idea I'm trying to put out, if you check some of the Western, if you check in the Western world, that is where they run a very good, successful democracy, where it's all about the masses. Go and check in the Western world, the democracy, the way they run democracy there is totally different from the way the African leaders run it in Africa. That is why you see in Western world, you see all the basic amenities, making sure it's available for the citizens. Even if you are not a citizen, as far as you are living there, life will be very comfortable for you. Education, health, infrastructure, name it. That is democracy. So they give that idea to African leaders that it cannot work in Africa. Meanwhile, it's working there. Come back to Africa and see how the leaders, the so-called leaders, the way they are ruling the Africans. Very high literacy in education, very high in poverty. Just name it. Poor infrastructure, electricity, especially in Nigeria. You see some leaders call themselves leaders that occupy the political office, just living extra large life, helping themselves and their families only, forgetting the poor, the majority. You see, I'm sounding this like this a point of contact to the so-called African leaders that is not how to go. They are going the Western world, they are going there, they are seeing how the basic amenities is given to the masses. But back here home, it's not like that. Always they are just, you hear how this one embezzle money, how this one takes a huge amount. Some governors, it's very ridiculous. Then another one I want to talk about. The other time I was watching TV. When I was watching TV when I saw the famous man, the most richest man in Africa. Shout out to Aliko Dangote, when he was talking about him being denied visa in African continent. That if he wants to go to some other country, they'll ask him to go and get some American visa before he can get to African continent. Is that how it's supposed to be? A man that's making sure that the Africans is getting to the map. A man that built a world-class refineries, that even in the Western world, they are not happy with it. They don't like it. Even some African leaders, they don't like it, because they prefer this, they should take their fuel there and refine and bring it back so that they can keep embezzle some monies. That's not supposed to be like that. A man like that should not supposed to even get, highest you can give him a visa on arrival. because he's coming to do business, he's coming to develop your country, he's coming to do one or two in your country, rather than the Western world that they don't come to Africa. Elon Musk, if he's coming to any part of Africa, then I'm sure he doesn't need visa. Jack Bezos, Jack Dorsey, name them, Mark Zuckerberg, all those guys, they don't need visa to come to any of African continent. But look at the man's complaining, explaining that he wants to go to some African country, they have to tell him to go and get some African visa. And in the same Africa, if you are talking about international, that is well understandable. But in the same African continent, the richest man in Africa, trying to make sure he put the Africa in the map. But look at him trying to use visa to frustrate him. Shout out to him, he has been able to achieve his biggest dream by creating that world-class refinery in the world. I hope and I believe God support him. Including even him, he was telling us that in an interview that he are always facing challenges. In an interview, saying that the kind of mafias in the oil industry is way stronger than the mafia in the drugs barons industry. You can imagine. So I pray may God help him through and make sure that he can sell to Nigeria, sell to sub-Saharan in Africa, and export. Shout out to him and kudos to him, because that gigantic project, even a sovereign nation is having them to do it, more or less of an individual. Shout out to him. But all I'm trying to say here in essence is that the African leaders have to come together and have this bilateral intertrade continent. As far as you are a businessman, entrepreneur, they're not supposed to squeeze you with that visa idea. Meanwhile, those Western world guys, if they are coming to Africa, they don't need anything. We are talking about Africa here. We are talking about intertrade in African continent here. As a businessman, he doesn't need to go and be looking for visa to go to any African continent, because he's bringing value, he's adding value to the country, he's adding value to economic of that country. Imagine this world-class refinery he built. Imagine the number of people that were employed. Imagine the commercial business activities. Imagine exporting this fuel, diesel, petrol, and the fertilizer to sub-Saharan Africa, even in the Western world, in the Europeans. And that man trying to get into your country to make one or two business, you are requesting him to go and get American visa. I saw him in an interview the other day when he was explaining. He was even telling the person that is interviewing him that, like, this guy around him now, I forgot the guy name, the man's name, is an entrepreneur too, but it's a Western, it's an European. Like, if the guy wants to go to somewhere in Africa now, he doesn't need visa, but him have to start looking for visa, start trying to make sure everything is in order. Some other time they are denying him visa in Egypt, that he has to go and get American visa, which is very terrible. That is very, very terrible for the African leaders. They have to create this synergy of intertrade. You don't need visa. As far as you are a businessman, you are well known, they know you, you don't need it. You don't have to stress you like that. It's a very, 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 very important idea that the African leaders have to take a very holistic understanding and get it. Because it's crazy. It's crazy. Because you are talking about Africa here. If Africa is good now, the world will hear us. We'll be on the map. But you don't talk about African leaders, they don't come together to make sure that they have this synergy. They always run to the Western world as a slave. Come on, guys. Come on. That's not how Nelson Mandela do it. You should take a cue and look at those people, how they do it. Those are the legend, those are the true leaders of Africans. So they have to create that synergy to make sure within the African continent there is bilateral trade, intertrade, create a enable environment, free movement, so that African can get to that top where the Western world thought we can never be. Africa to the world, peace in the world, peace in the Africa, peace in Nigeria. And I also want to take this point to talk to the African leaders, the Nigerian leaders. You guys should think. You guys should think. Remember, you are a leader today, you might not be a leader tomorrow. You are in the office today, you might not be in the office tomorrow. It's time by time. And remember, nothing lasts forever. Nothing is permanent. Everything comes and goes. And it will all fade away. But whatever you do, whatever you did, whatever you do, you give accounts to your Creator, and it will be your legacy. How will you feel when they call your name, that you are once a governor, you are once a president, you are once a senator, you are once a commissioner, but nothing good to write home about you? When they check your record, it's all about embezzlement, how you do this, how you embezzle this money. Even your family will be ashamed to use your name. Remember, it's not for long. It's just for long. It's just a question of time. Times come and go. Nothing lasts forever. Nothing is permanent. You'll be there today, you might not be there tomorrow, but think about your legacy. All the world speak about you when you are left, when you are gone, when you are no more. African leaders, unite and think and come off of this mentality of all the way running to the Western world. And those people, they don't mean good for you. They don't mean good for your people. The Western world cannot come and fix Africa. It's the African leader that comes together and fix Africa. Peace in the world. Thank you guys. Please do well and subscribe to my YouTube video. It's VJ Studio. Shout out to you again. And thank you for all my subscribers. Till I come your way again. Peace for now. Peace in the world.